Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. As you can see, I am in a hotel room, and I'm actually in London. Hopefully we won't have too bad of a reflection here. I am in London, England, one of my favorite cities. I love big cities. London is one of those special cities for me. I've spent enough time, considerable amount of time here. I've lived in Europe before and have some connections here. So you can see that's the river. If you can see, there's the bridge there, beautiful bridge crossing the river here in downtown London. A little bit of the skyline. I don't have a full view, but a pretty enough view on my balcony here. So I'm going to flip this around. Now, I just want you to notice that I do have my bed's made up, see? Last time I shot a video in Palm Springs, people noticed my messy room. So the bed is made, and so there will be no distractions. I want to talk today about really being vulnerable. The reason why is I'm here for some events, and I'm with a really awesome powerhouse group of people. They're all people that have taken risks in their lives to go after their dreams. Now, you guys see this all the time. I've got all these things that pop out here. Free training videos on how to get trained on the internet. The internet is a new industry for individuals that are learning how to use it to create online businesses. That's all it really is. People overcomplicate this, and there's of course a lot of people out there just in every industry trying to make a buck for all the wrong reasons. But this organization that I'm with happens to be made up of highly spiritual people, and we go beyond just learning how to create an online business. What we're doing is we're actually stepping into that uncomfort zone, which my whole channel's all about. Stepping into that uncomfort zone where you're going to have to do some things that other people might not approve of, your gut feeling doesn't approve of because it goes against everything else that you've been told and believe in your entire life. Really breaking past fear and knowing that if you really want to make a change in your life, you have to do that. And nothing changes until this mindset changes first. Now, why is that so important? Because you'll stay in exactly the same place, or every time you step outside, I know a lot of people have done this, I've done this myself, you step outside of that box, and then what happens is it gets uncomfortable, and the first time something goes wrong, you go running back to your safety net of what you know, which is the very place you don't want to be. And we all do that. Why? Because we are comfortable in our familiarity. And to us, there's a known. So even if that known is a 9-to-5 job that you don't get paid well and you don't love, you at least know you have that, which that's a false sense of security, because especially if you don't own your own company, like I did, you could lose that any day, and this is happening more and more with our world of technology. Myself owned my own business, and I knew that things were changing. And if you're not flexible in this world, you can really be left in a much more vulnerable position by staying in that safe zone. So what do I mean by being vulnerable? This group of people that I'm with, part of one of the exercises that we do is we just put it out there. We just admit to things. We share our vulnerabilities, our weaknesses, and our strengths, and most of all, our strengths. And what I know, and I know this about you and the human race in general, I keep getting reminded of how extremely vulnerable we all really are, even when we pretend not to be. That's always going to be there. This is a world of uncertainty. And all the control that you have comes from what you decide to do with your life in every moment. That means how you feel, how you think, your intentions are all within your control. I want you to know that. So when we talk about being vulnerable, you're going to be vulnerable because, again, you cannot predict what other people are going to do, but you can predict, or at least stick to, with the decision of how you react to certain situations. I want to share that with you because we feel like when we think we're vulnerable, it's a uneasy feeling that you don't have control of your life. And I know most of you feel vulnerable often. What's vulnerable? That the person you love won't love you back, or they will stop loving you, that the job you have is going to go away, that you're never going to be able to retire, or that that illness you have is going to come back or get worse. Those are uncertainties in life that make us vulnerable. They're also the very reason we came here. You do have control over your life, and I want to remind you of that. No matter how vulnerable you feel, if you can be okay with that, that's the human part of you. The true you has no beginning and no end. It is undamageable. No one can ever damage that. It's only the ego and the perceived human that you are on this earth of something that can be damaged or hurt or ended that makes us so fearful. It's that perceived image of something that things can be taken away from. But that's not true. When you're able to be vulnerable and you can be comfortable there, then you know that you have accepted, and I talk a lot about acceptance, you know that you have accepted the fact that you can always create whatever reality that you want according to your beliefs. Now, we've talked about me, many people like, oh my gosh, stuff's going on in the world and you're putting rose-colored glasses on. I see the world that way. Even in its horrendous state at times, I see the beauty in it. And there's always beauty in every journey. There's always beauty in every experience. And we get to choose how beautiful it is. When you're okay with being vulnerable, that is an admission that you really are controlling your reality. And you get to feel very secure knowing that I'm truly creating this reality with a very happy ending and some wonderful lessons along the way that I'm no longer afraid of. Because I can be vulnerable as a human experiencing this play that we're here to, decide along the way what we're going to take on and what we're not. You get to do that at every moment. Don't think for a minute that you are predestined to struggle or suffer or to be broke or to not have love or to not have health. Whatever it is you're experiencing right now, go ahead and be vulnerable. That's just the human part of you. You, the true you, has total control over what you decide happens with your life. And when you decide you're done being unhappy or lonely or unhealthy, you can turn all of that around. And part of that, and most of that, is looking at that struggle right dead center in the eye and saying, okay, there's a purpose for this. This is not a chaotic universe. There is a purpose for this. This is not a negative thing. My vulnerability allows me to feel maybe a little bit sad or feel a little bit frustrated. Just like any human, don't expect that to ever go away. But the true you has control over that. And you decide how far down it takes you or how far up. We don't want to be on this roller coaster ride of emotions, do we? So, being vulnerable is admitting that you're just experiencing being human, but you're not letting it control you. And being vulnerable says, I do control my reality. I'm okay with being a human. A lot of people, they want to walk around and pretend that nothing's happening, nothing's going bad. And there's a difference between that and sticking your head in the sand kind of thing, where you think nothing's happening. I don't do that. I know what's going on out there. But I don't spend my time focused on it. I spend my time focused on the triumphs and what I can do and how I can raise my frequency. And sometimes it's not physically doing anything. Sometimes it's prayers and sending light and love, keeping good thoughts, all the positive things that you do have control over. So, I'm at this event. People are willing to be vulnerable. They're willing to admit that they're all humans and they've made mistakes. And we unite in that. And when you realize everybody else is going through the same things you are, and you stop struggling with them when you learn your lessons, you get to progress to higher levels. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, just a little video from London, and I am going to continue to shoot here. You guys didn't know this, but I'm here for almost 2 weeks. And Baby Coo is being taken care of. Baby Coo, if you don't know who that is my stray cat that I've fallen in love with. The dog person now loves Baby Coo, the stray kitty. I'm getting pictures sent to me from my dear friend Allie, who is taking care of Coo. And I'm so thankful for all the things in my life, including you, because you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious and happy. And it's wonderful to have that in my life and know that I'm making a difference in yours, and I hope I'm doing that. You're making a difference in mine and on this entire planet. Never doubt your importance and how incredible you are, or your power. Vulnerability is just an experience here. It's not who you are. You are limitless. Namaste.